A very, very interesting episode for you today. So, all right, let's check it out. Let's go to the table cam, guys. So, table cam, we got, oh man, I hate when I do that. There we go. So, over at the table cam, this is obviously not a AtGames Legends Ultimate or an AtGames Legends Gamer, but this is the control panel from an AtGames Legends Ultimate. So, in order for me to do this video, I don't need the whole cabinet, obviously, so I have it all hooked up. It is wired via Ethernet, so I'm connected the best possible way I can to AtGames Cloud. So what we're going to do today is we're going to check out something kind of interesting. So AtGames decided they would, they're going to release a pinball table this year. And we've got, between 3 vendors really for home arcade, right? Like affordable home arcade, we've got Toy Shock, you've got Arcade 1UP, and you've got AtGames. Now, only one of those products are available today, and that's Toy Shock. And I did a video on that. Its first entry to the market was a total miss. The frame rate had issues where it was playing at less frames per second than it needed to, which really just ruined the experience. You ended up with a lot of lag. So, and in pinball, you don't want lag. Lag with pinball is bad. And if you've built your own virtual pinball machine, then it takes a pretty high-powered PC to get it right. However, there's been Android versions of the games that have come out recently. Well, they've been out for a little while. Zen has some. I can't think of the other company, right? Farsight Studios has some. So there are entries that run on Android, which will give you the right frame rate at reduced graphic quality, right? So there'll be reduced quality, and you'll get maybe a little bit of the pinball mechanics aren't quite exactly the way they would be. Now, this thing I'm showing you today is actually kind of interesting. So AtGames doesn't have a pinball machine that's like available on the market yet, but they decided to launch this piece of software called Pinball X. Now, the interesting thing is I don't want people to get confused. Pinball X is a front end for things like Visual Pinball, Pinball FX3. So it's a front end if you're building your own pinball machine. So I don't know why they named it Pinball X, because that's actually confusing if you're into virtual pinball. So what is visual pinball? So that's actually what they decided to do, is this Pinball X tool allows you to take games that they've licensed, quote unquote, and it loads them in the cloud, and then you play them locally on your machine, but all the processing is happening at Direct to Drive, which is their cloud instance. I'm just going to read for you in a generic sense what visual pinball is if you don't know. So, all right, visual pinball is a freeware, source available video game engine for pinball tables and similar games. The software is composed of an editor and a simulator, and it runs on Windows. So that's why it can't run locally on the ALU, because the ALU does not run on Windows. I just want to make that clear. The program is also able to operate with Visual PinMame, an emulator for ROM images from real pinball machines. So most of the visual pinball community is a very, it's like an active open source community. And what that community does is they build user-created pinball tables, but they also build renditions of pinball tables based on ROMs, which are readily available. So AtGames obviously can't put games like AC/DC on there, but there are AC/DC versions of visual pinball tables, right? So they basically take the ROM and they create all the artwork and they offer that to you. So that obviously can't happen because those are licensed. Well, they're not licensed, actually. It's no different from you downloading a MAME ROM and playing it, right? You don't have rights to it, and so that's why they can't do that. So the reason why I thought this was interesting is visual pinball is really demanding on processor. So can they achieve this in the cloud is what I wanted to know. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play it live. So I've seen some videos out there where they're not playing it live. I just want to play it live so you can see what the experience is. Because if you told me you could stream, I've built virtual pinball machines before based on Visual Pinball 10, 9, 8. So it's very demanding locally. And to get the good experience, you need a good graphics card and a good processor. So my initial reaction without even testing it would be that this does not work well. There's no way technically this would work well. But let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. So we're just going to jump right in and check it out. So we're going to go. Let me put the game music on. You got to excuse me for I will back out, by the way. We'll back out of this so I can show you exactly how you get to these games. But for right now, we're running this game in AtGames Cloud. And, oh, what was that? Sorry, guys, dropped something. We're running it in AtGames Cloud, and it's being streamed to our ALU. We don't have an ALU. We're just using the ALU control panel, which effectively all the brains are in this. So this is all we need. So let's go do it. So let's go. We'll mute it out, or we'll get it unmuted. The music on this game. So I will say this: the legitimate version of this game, or the version they have online, has like really good music in it. That is licensed. So that's why this is the music that they went with. So anyways, we're gonna start here. I'm gonna press start on my control panel. All right. So if you were looking at, I'll actually give you a lay of the land here for a second. So to do your flippers, you're going to have to press A on this side, and I think it's A on this, either A or C, I can't remember, but once I get started, one of these is ball launch, I can't remember. But when we start playing it, this will be available on the Legends Gamer, and it's going to have buttons on the side for flippers. So in the initial deployment of the ALU, there were no side buttons, but I guess they're going to have like some product you can buy to add side buttons to it later. All right, so let's get started. Let's see how this works. So this is real time. I'm capturing it off my capture card. There's no tricks here, and I'm wired Ethernet to my router. I get about 300 down, and I think it's like 50 up. So I have plenty of bandwidth, right? There's no bandwidth limitations here. All right, let's get started. So I don't know if you guys. Oh wait, hold on. I don't have the right flipper button. All right. So I was wrong. It's actually A on one side and C on player 2. But I don't know if you guys can tell, but like the sounds are like when I hit the flipper and when it makes the sound for the flipper is off. But so you can kind of see, I don't know if you notice that, but and I'll pull up the latency meter, although the latency meter doesn't really seem to tell me much outside of what it thinks my latency is to see how much. Yeah, see, I just hit the flipper and it didn't go off. It went off like really, really delayed. Now keep in mind, this is all, I guess, beta, but you know, you got to think about it. You can hear the sound stuttering there too. You got to think about it, right? You got companies like Google Stadia who haven't really perfected running games in the cloud yet. So with something like Visual Pinball being as demanding as it is, I wouldn't expect AtGames to be able to do it, right? I think Google has a little bit more money. Now, I'm not trying to badmouth it. I'm just showing you what the experience is. So here's the important thing. Anybody that's built virtual pinball machines themselves knows, see you later, okay, bye. Especially with Visual Pinball, you're going to need a really beefy machine. Now, what AtGames has done is they've put that beefy machine in their cloud, which is great. So they're processing the data for you. And I will give them the benefit of the doubt that this is early stage beta stuff. But I mean, I don't want to be super aggressive in my stance, but this to me for virtual pinball, no matter what, hobbyist or not, this is like unplayable to me. Like you can't even really get a good, yeah, you can't really even control the ball because it's jumping around too much. Now, I did notice this game is more graphically intense than the other ones, so I'll show you. There's 4 of them they're going to offer. And keep in mind, they call them licensed, but it's really users that I'm assuming they made some agreement with to say, hey, guys, you created this table. Could we feature this table on our store? Yeah, see, I just hit the flipper and it didn't even go off. It goes off, but it goes off like milliseconds later. Oh, splendid. Sorry, I'm not paying attention so much to the chat. I'll get to it in a second, but I'm just trying to figure out how to play this. Now, keep in mind, when this is actually an early release, so they're gonna have this software available to people that, let's say they buy their pinball machine. You'll get the locally installed games, which is going to be 22 pinball arcade games, and then you'll have this option too. Now, if I had to say what's cool about this, what's cool is that if you're a user and you create your own table, you could get your table featured. So I have to at least give them props to, you know, if you're developing your own tables, that's kind of cool. But unless they can improve the overall gameplay experience of this is like not very good. You know, this is just not the way these were intended to be played. It's just too slow. And this is on Ethernet. There's no Wi-Fi here. I've got really fast speeds up and down. I got gigabit. I got Gigablast from Cox Communications. So I'm not doing anything tricky here. I'm not using Wi-Fi. It's just not a good experience. But keep in mind, it's version 1, but still, there's plenty of lag to be had here. There's actually an extreme amount of lag in this gameplay experience. It's worse than the Toy Shock. So, for what it's worth. So, I mean, here it is, guys. So we'll go back. I'll show you the other ones. So when you hit start, you can go and cancel this. I'll even show you... Oh, it's not even working. There we go. Okay. So you can go to the display mode, or sorry, not the display mode. You can go to latency here, and you can say enabled, and it'll show you a latency meter. You'll see that, for the most part, it'll seem decent, but what's reflected in the latency meter doesn't seem to really be my experience, right? Because what I'm experiencing is way more latent than what it's showing there, but I don't know what that's exactly telling me. That could be like round-trip latency to their cloud service. I'm not sure. So I don't know exactly what metric that's looking at. So yeah, so Rexer Show was saying, yeah, like I'm hitting the flippers, but there's a delay. It's not always there. So like right now, while nothing's going on the screen, I hit it and there is flipper lag, but it's not like crazy bad. But as soon as the motion of the ball starts happening and there's other things going on the table, see, like right now I almost wish I could have both of these screens up at the same time, and maybe I'll have a subsequent thing. But basically, why I'm showcasing this is there's probably a reason why the visual pinball crowd isn't streaming pinball games. It's just not perfected yet, right? I'll give them credit for being creative and offering this, but this wouldn't be the reason why I would buy the pinball machine, right? I would buy it on the merits of the 22 games that they're going to have preloaded, of which I don't know what those are yet. But so just to make an informed decision, this wouldn't be why I would buy it. Yeah, see right there, the ball jumped a bunch. Like I mean, I'm kind of have a good session. This is the best session I have so far. Let's see. See if I can get control of the ball. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that. It was really jerky there. So you can kind of see, you kind of saw a spike right there in the frames per second. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, it's not good. What I'm going to do is, Rexer Show, you pointed it out. I'm going to actually have a comparison where I show this with the visual pinball version running right on the pinball machine locally. You'll see it's extreme. It's like 10 times better. But anyways, here, I'll show you the other games really fast. So this is one of the 4 that you'll get. I'm going to hit quit. There's instructions on their website on how to launch these games and how to get them installed. You have to pull them down from their website. And then once you pull them down from their website, you can compile it onto your USB key and run them. So the only reason I'm actually not really covering AtGames anymore, I'm just covering I thought the pinball stuff is interesting to me because pinball is something I've been doing for a while now. So it's kind of, something that sparked my interest. So I'll go back to, let's hit Invader really quick. We'll go to one of these. So these tables are less sophisticated tables. Again, they're all user created. So props to the users that created them. No, if it was 100%, no, if it was 100%, I understand that there's some bias out there that of me on AtGames for sure. I'm okay admitting that. I don't really prefer the products that they make, but I actually I was kind of hoping it was going to be good. So it's not though. It's not good. But I'm assuming their tables that are playing locally are going to be optimized for the processor that they have. And so what you're seeing right now is you're seeing this when you launch Visual Pinball on your desktop. Like let's say you go and decide you want to play with Visual Pinball, you do see Visual Pinball come up, the application, and sometimes you can catch it. It'll show you the table, so it shows you all the layers of the graphics that make up the table. So anyways, this is the other game that's on here. This is Invader, I believe. So you'll see this one will actually run a bit better, and I think it's because graphically it's way less intense. So here, I'll get this going for you guys so you guys can take a look. And if you're not into virtual pinball, I'm sorry, but this was the purpose of this episode because I just thought it'd be interesting to showcase what this thing looks like and plays like. This one has less lag, although it's still definitely lagging. It's not like it was in that other table, but that other table is a bit more sophisticated. Now, if you, yeah, see, all right, let's see. I'm gonna try to concentrate on this for a minute here. Yeah, so Castlemania Games, thanks for joining, by the way. Yeah, AtGames is doing cloud gaming. They have for a little bit. They bought a company, and it's direct to drive. So they have a standalone cloud service, and then they have a cloud service that's offered with this thing, with the ALU. Yeah, so actually this is a bit laggy too. Actually, it's really laggy. Never mind. I take back my prior statement. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm connected via Ethernet. There's a lot of people out there saying that Ethernet is just going to give me this lag-free experience or no lag. There's lag all over the place. So I don't know what they're talking about. And again, this isn't meant to bag on them. It's more meant to just show you what it's really like, right? I've seen a lot of videos where it's pre-recorded and there's no live gameplay. And, you know, as soon as I saw cloud, we're going to do cloud gaming for pinball. I'm like, dude, visual pinball's intensive as hell. Requires a huge... No, Castlemania Games, all good, man. This is a total... We're all super vocal in the chat, and I'm usually more vocal in the chat. It's just I'm trying to try to play pinball is tough, but I appreciate everyone's in the chat and the conversation. I haven't been able to catch up with all of it because I'm trying to see it, but so anyways, that's kind of where it's at there. So I'll show you one more thing. So the other thing that is on here that kind of does help with this. So there'll be 3 offerings here, if I understand correctly. There'll be the 22 games that they're going to preload to the pinball machine. This is a preview, right? It's a preview of software that will be available to run on their pinball machine, on their Legends Gamer, or if you prefer, or if you don't have any of those products, you can play it on the ALU in a horizontal fashion, right? But there's also other ways to play pinball on this device, but you know, they're different from that. So basically you would go to, and I'll show you really fast what you're doing here. So what we're doing here is what I just showed you is this app called Pinball X. So when you launch Pinball X, which there's instructions on how to do that. When you launch Pinball X, it gives you have to have that on your USB drive. Sorry, I just messed up there. Hit that. And then on the side, you'll see there's like this little root folder. The root folder is a USB key that I have inserted into the AtGames Legends Ultimate. And then you have your 4 games after you compile it. There's actually I will give them props. There's an infographic on their website, which is actually one of the best marketing things I've seen them put out that actually tells you very much. It's like cut and dry. It's one pager. It tells you exactly how to do it. So, but these are the games you get. And, you know, as I suspected, latency is not good. Like there's a bunch of lag. It's basically unplayable experience in my opinion. So what I would say is, this is weird that you'd launch this first before featuring the games that actually play well on your actual device. It's just weird. I would have gone with the good showcase first versus this, because this isn't very impressive. But I would imagine that the games they're going to release from Pinball Arcade, Farsight Studios that run locally and are optimized for their system will probably run well because they'll be optimized for local gameplay. So it's just weird that this would be the first thing you'd feature. So anyways, the other games that you can play, if you decide to choose to do so, you can go to BYOG and you can go to what's called Cloud BYOG. So this will allow you to attach directly to their cloud instance. So now I'm talking directly to the cloud server, and here I could potentially load Pinball Arcade or Pinball FX3. So these are games that I've licensed already, so I've paid for. AtGames hasn't directly licensed these games, but this is actually a way to play games I've already purchased on Steam on my Legends Ultimate. So I don't know, how these are going to run on the pinball table, if they're going to have a way to simulate backglass playfield DMD and have that stream locally. I'm not sure. I don't know how that's going to work, because if it's Pinball FX3, you need to have it in cabinet mode, and then you can choose your layout. Because they're working with Farsight Studios, I would imagine they'll figure that out with Pinball Arcade. But I just wanted to let you know there's more than one way to actually do pinball on this device, whether it be the ALU, the Legends Gamer, or the upcoming pinball machine. So that's kind of it, guys. I don't have a whole lot to say outside of I hope that when they release their pinball machine, they really focus on optimizing the 22 built-in games for the processor they have in the actual ALU, which is right here. And of course, I always do this, guys. You guys know that I always have problems with this table cam, because this table cam always gives me problems. But yeah, so hopefully there's a processor inside the ALU. It's actually right below this. It's right below the trackball. There's actually the processing unit of the actual system. I hope that whatever games they put on this system for both the pinball machine and ultimately will work on the ALU is optimized for that processor. And then, maybe at least the 22 built-in ones will be a good experience. But streaming pinball, to me, I don't get that. I don't think it's going to be a great experience, but hey, maybe they'll figure out some way to do it. But I just think with pinball, you have to be so anal about the lag that you induce in pinball that it's just not a good experience if it's not real snappy, 60 frames per second, no button lag. It's just one of those things. But hey, if they can make miracles happen, then then cool. Then more power to them. I just don't see it happening. So anyways, I'll show you really quick one more of the games on Pinball Arcade. I don't have or Pinball X, sorry. I don't have as much time today to do the live stream, so I just wanted to throw this out there. I just thought it'd be fun. And oh, someone's asking about a live stream tonight. I don't know if we're gonna stream tonight. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. I might. I was thinking about doing another racing live stream tonight. I guess we'll do Texas Poker. Actually, Skittles, because I like Skittles. I like the candy Skittles. Yeah, the Leprechaun does not include this. Arcade said, does the Leprechaun game include the soundtrack? It has a soundtrack that has a bunch of licensed games on it, or licensed songs on it. So obviously they discluded those songs. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's actually an error or if it's actually, I don't know what happened there. We'll see. Uh-oh. We might be hosed. Okay. All right, let me see if I use my keyboard to exit this error. Hold on. So another thing is you can hook up a keyboard to your AtGames Legends Ultimate. So when you, I don't know, it's not even, my mouse isn't even working right now. Oh, there it is. Okay. Ah, man. Let's see if we can just exit this error out. All right, it might load. Let's see. I didn't break it. Oh, hey, Ralph is streaming. Let's shut him out. Why would they do something like that? I'm showcasing their product. They should be open to my live stream, right? Okay. So this is Skittles. Okay. Let's launch this ball. All right. I guess Skittles doesn't have any music, or it didn't load the music, so it's a little quiet, a little boring. But you know, we could maybe add music to it if you guys want. We could maybe make it more exciting. Again, really laggy stuff. And I just want to let you know, I'm connected via Ethernet. I did a speed test right before this. I was getting 300 down and like 50 up, so my speeds are great. I'm connected to the AtGames server according to their software that's in LA, so it's not like I'm not connected to one across the country or anything like that. Stringer, I don't know what you're watching, dude. No, all right, let's be honest. Some of the, someone had to actually... Someone had to make these, so more power to them. I couldn't make these tables. If someone thanks for the super chat Stringer. If someone told me to make this, I couldn't make it, so I can't really bag on it, but I can at least say if I was trying to feature my pinball machine that's coming out and I wanted to get people pumped up, I don't know if I'd be like, Skittles, baby. Yeah, everyone's gonna be jazzed up because we're gonna hit them with some Skittles. Heck yeah. But yeah. Exactly. This is not the new Toy Shock. I actually... Indie Gamer Chick, thanks for joining. She says, Skittles, taste the disappointment. Yeah, so, I mean, here's... the reason for the motivation for me doing this video... Thank you, Stringer Films. The motivation, I can't even go. The motivation for doing this live stream was to just bring some attention to visual pinball. Is gonna be really tough to be able to stream it. And this game isn't exactly like going off on the graphical intensity. So you can imagine they've got a lot of work to do to try to perfect this. I really don't see it happening. So what I would suggest, this is my suggestion, I'm just some dude, right? My suggestion is hope that the games they include on the pinball machine are good so that you can get a good experience, that it's running 60 frames per second or higher, so that you know, it feels like virtual pinball should feel. The whole idea is it is a video game, but it's a video game that's trying to feel like a real pinball machine. And in order to do that, you need responsiveness. This is very, very poor in its deployment. And if I were them, I wouldn't have showcased this. That's to be honest, because this doesn't hype me up at all. My hype meter is on 0.0. 0.0 hype level. Oh man, yeah, it's pretty weak. Stringer Films, thanks for the super chat. How are you feeling playing it? I'm feeling so hyped. Someone else, I guess Rexer Show used to play this on his Texas Instruments calculator. Dude, that's awesome. I'm sure it was a great experience. -10 for hype. Yeah, man, I guess, you know, hey, look. I owe you all lunch. Look, Chef Dave said I owe you all lunch for streaming this. The Leprechaun game's not bad. It's just if the music was in the game that was actually in the game, so arcades... I had never played this game, by the way. I've done lots of visual pinball. Oh, maybe Texas Poker. Let's go to Texas Poker. And so Indie Gamer Chick's like, yeah, look, we already showed that one. Let's do it. And then the next live stream, we're going to really hype you up. We'll do a live stream. It's going to be a live comparison against Texas Instruments calculator running the same games. We're going to try that out. No, I'm just kidding. But Arcades did point out that the soundtrack for this game is actually really good. It's just they couldn't use the soundtrack for the game because the soundtrack has a bunch of music that that's not licensed. So anyways, all right, let's do Texas Poker really fast. So I did try something real quick. You know, obviously the modder in me came out a little bit when I saw this. I wasn't going to advocate this, but I was trying to see if you could trick the system by, see, I don't know why I keep throwing up this error, and the only way to get by it is to actually have to all right, there we go. Okay. Stringer Films is super chat. I'll get to it in a second here. All right, I'm trying to get by this error. Come on. All right, there we go. So you just press enter a bunch of times on the keyboard and you're all good. Big IA Arcade. Someone mentioned the IA Arcade announcement. We're going to be talking about that later on today. Wait, what did it say? Ralph needs to hope no newcomers come by just to his channel. That's true. I might have to delete this stream after. People be like, what the hell is this nonsense? All right, so here's the game. What is this called? Texas Poker. Let's see. We'll press start here. I don't know if these games have no music or they just decided not to add the music or what, or if the music was licensed or something, but to have no music while you're playing is just like, oh, it's killing me. To have no soundtrack. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Kind of cool that it looks like the table is maybe supposed to be a guitar, so to speak. Is that what it's supposed to be? Is it a guitar, or am I just, and then there's fireworks coming out the back? I'm confused. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I probably should delete this, huh? All right, let's get it pumped up. Let's create hype for this game. You guys want to see some Texas Poker? Hold on a second. I'm gonna hype. Oh, there. Wait, what just happened? That I didn't do that. It did that. All of a sudden, the music started playing. All right, hold on. Hey guys, we're about to get super freaking pumped up to play Texas Poker on the ALU. Are you guys ready? Did you come to this live stream because you knew that we would be playing the most exciting, the biggest advancements in virtual pinball since ever, with virtually zero lag? Let's freaking do it. Yeah! So hyped. What just happened? Oh, it lagged so bad that I didn't see the ball. Hold on. Yes! Are you guys pumped now, though? Isn't the music pumping you up, right? Look, we're keeping the ball in play for a while. Look at that. Hey, we're doing okay. I'm getting pumped. It's the music. The music's getting me pumped. See, when you get used to the lag. Oh my god. You guys know I'm not. You guys know I'm not like. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I can't play this anymore. It's just too bad. Okay, it's bad. I don't even know what's happening. Okay, benefit of the doubt. Final thoughts, benefit of the doubt time. Let's just hope that this is not what they fall back on, right? Let's just hope that the pinball arcade games they license to get running on the system are actually good. And I mean, Pinball Arcade has some good tables, so there's a catalog they can choose from to make sure that 22 is solid, and they can work on optimizing it for the processor and the ALU. That's what I hope. This is more of a novelty, in my opinion. I'm telling you, strong opinions on this. I don't think this is something they're going to perfect when you have companies as large as Google not even able to perfect streaming gameplay. It's just a matter of fact, right? If Google can't perfect it, I don't think, let's look at the scale of the company and the engineering efforts and resources. I'm all about the little guy. I work for a company that's the little guy. So we constantly are trying to innovate. I will give them props that it is kind of cool to be able to do something like this, but to me, this is a novelty and probably not the reason to buy the product in the first place. That's it. And I will consider... Indie Gamer Chick says, meanwhile, some exec at AtGame is going to play this and fire someone. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna leave it right there. And maybe I should delete this stream because I don't know who's gonna want to watch it. And that's it for now, guys. 0.0. We'll see you on the next one.